So we have an official verdict for you folks. We have the women's under 115 fight between Valerie Thurs and Heather Smith coming up next. Valerie Thurs in the cage already, and coming to the ring is Heather Smith. Tell us a little bit about Heather, Steven.
So Heather has no official MMA record with combat. She joined Camo it's September 21st of this year. She fights in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style out of Napa, California, Fort Marin MMA.
And her opponent is Valerie Thurs, only 23 years of age, 5'5", fighting out of an orthodox stance from Rockland, California. She is representing No Limit Fighting and Mara Noble's record of 1-0. She did pick up a submission win back in July 21st of this year when she caught a rear naked choke to her opponent, Stephanie Bohannon. So Thurs with the experience advantage in that she has a fight under her belt at 23 years of age. Heather Smith, the age advantage in terms of experience with 29 versus the 23-year-old Thurs.
Brian, Steven, who run the world? Girls, I'm going to be honest right now. I'm really excited about this fight. I'm so excited that Bay Area Combat is giving the female athletes this opportunity. To get in the ring. I'm really excited to see what Heather Smith has to offer and see Valerie Thurs kill it today.
Yeah, both of these girls looking to show out for Bay Area Combat. This is the first female fight for Bay Area Combat. If you're a long-standing viewer of Solana College Sports Network, you've seen some of our past fights for Steve. We've seen a few female fights. They've been very electric, a lot of fists flying, a lot of fun. This one should be no different for you. Here in Napa, California, for Oktoberfest for Bay Area Combat. Brian Nelson here with Stephen Babb and Nikki Requejo, getting set to call this under 115 bout between these two fierce females.
One thing I think to look for, Heather Smith at 29 years old, Valerie Thurs at 23. You know, sometimes age doesn't quite make a difference, but you never quite know when there's a little bit of an older opponent.
We'll send it to Jim for the official introductions.
115-pound division. The man in charge when the action begins, the Brian Tyler. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, hailing from Sacramento, California. She represents Mara Noble's fight team and weighed in at 114.2 pounds. She is undefeated in her mixed martial arts campaign. Lethal Bam Bam, Valerie Thurs. Her opponent, across the cage in the red corner, makes her home in San Anselmo, California. She represents Marin MMA and weighed in at 115 pounds even, Heather Smith.
So we're getting set for 3 2-minute rounds between these two women in the under 115-pound division.
Such a lightweight.
Yeah, so expect a lot of fast activity from these two women as
but a lot
the
of
fight is
power.
underway. Yep. Smith looking to be the aggressor there as Thurs takes control.
A great right hand to the body from Smith to Thurs.
Yeah, some just crosses from Thurs, trying to connect to the jaw of Smith.
Definitely more punching composer from Thurs.
Yeah, Smith ducking her head, not really keeping her eye on her target.
She is landing some good body blows, though.
Yeah, I was going to say that I actually disagree with you guys a little bit. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Smith right now. She's taking over these fight.
Some hammer fist from Thurs, trying to go for the double leg takedown, and the referee actually caught Thurs using the cage to her advantage, going for maybe an arm submission as Smith now has the full mount on Thurs. Thurs trying to wriggle free.
Looks like Smith is trying to get Thurs on her stomach to take the back there.
Yeah, that would be a wise decision from Smith. Maybe go for a rear naked choke during this transition. But until then, kind of content to score with some body punches.
Thurs definitely landing some lefts there to Smith.
Yeah, both women striking from this position. we'll see how much longer Brian Tyler, the referee, will keep this position before that she stands them up. They are working, however.
Yeah, there is some movement. Looks like, is that Smith trying to get maybe an arm lock?
Yeah, from our angle, it's difficult to see what submission she's really going for. Thurs trying to wriggle free. Yeah, we're just at an impossible angle, folks.
Smith landing some knees there to the back of Thurs.
That's showing some flexibility to actually land a knee strike from this position. But Smith's dominating top position in this round one. Looks like she might get this round on the judges' scorecards as round one comes to an end. So I think the size advantage of Smith factored in during that second half. But Nicole, as you were saying, some of the striking from Smith you were liking early in round one. So round two being set here in Napa, California, here at Bay Area Combat Oktoberfest.
Yeah, actually, I do like the composure of Thurs in that. You know, Smith was coming out with kind of some haymakers and not really landing any clean shots. And I think that Smith, you know, even though she was the aggressor, we saw in an earlier fight, that might come out to her advantage. But I like Thurs to actually come out on top as the rounds go on.
Yeah, and we'll see how both fighters look after their corners give them their respective notes. I think Thurs wants to stay out of the grapple game, really, with Smith being on top. She's very flexible and athletic, so I think if she gets the top position, her corner might like that a little bit more than her working from the bottom.
I have to agree with you because right now in this round, we saw that she was in the bottom, and that takes a lot of energy from the fighter.
Yeah, because you're constantly trying to get out of that position, and Smith did a great job of holding that position throughout round one, as Thurs, again, starting out with some strikes, just some overhead rights.
Yeah, Thurs definitely landing some there, but Smith getting some body blows in of her own.
Yeah, working the clinch, maybe trying to go for a double leg takedown. Now working a single leg, some back fist to the side of the head of Thurs.
Great base by Thurs to try to avoid the takedown here and land some shots.
Yeah, Smith trying to work deep and get a double leg takedown. She gets it. Not an emphatic slam, but it is effective nonetheless.
Yeah, at what cost, though? She seems to put herself in kind of a compromising position.
Yeah, ideally she would have wanted to slam down Thurs and end up in either a full mount, but Thurs just kind of sat down and kept some pretty valuable positioning.
Yeah, and it's a great tactic when you know you're getting taken down to kind of keep your composure and just sit and let it happen.
So again, Heather Smith up top, some body blows to the side of Thurs. Now trying to work to the full mount position. She gets it. Thurs kind of let her through pretty easily, and now pinned up against the cage. Using her flexibility in her legs to block those strikes.
Oh, Thurs is weaseling out from underneath.
From the back.
Oh, and she's looking to get back in the guard. Smith's got a half mount.
Yeah, she's inside control, goes back to the full mount. An arm from Valerie Thurs. There, you get a good look from our side camera at Thurs fighting off Heather Smith's submission offense. Trying to shrug her off, trying to transition to an armbar perhaps.
She needs to take...
Oh, as Thurs gets out from underneath, she's got Smith's legs, is taking the back.
She's going for an armbar, slips out, now going for some hammer fist from the top.
Thurs jumps down to land those shots. Smith tries to fight her away with her legs.
Thurs is definitely a flexible guy. I'm impressed. That was amazing the way she got out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thurs, she showed a little bit of it in round one, but here a lot more practical with her flexibility in order to use those flexible legs in order to block Smith from a lot of attempts.
And I actually think it might be part of Thurs' strategy to try to weasel out of that from underneath and really use her legs to get the back of Smith. And it's not something you see. It's a little unorthodox for fighters. You don't really see that happen a lot. I think a lot of guys especially aren't as flexible as what Thurs has shown here. And I gotta say, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I just really hope that Thurs kind of do a different tactic on the next round. She's doing really good punches. However, Smith is a little bit taller, so she needs to start reaching for the ribs down or all the way to the up with some hooks. Because if not, Smith is gonna take her down again, and her energy is not good when she's down. She's really flexible. She's knowing how to get out, but at the end of the day, Smith is controlling the round.
Yeah, Thurs is breathing heavily, even coming out of the corner after this round 3 break. And Smith using her size advantage really well, and they're striking very effectively, backing up Thurs again up against the cage. Thurs trying to throw some knees in there.
Thurs has her in a nice clinch trying to avoid the takedown. Smith's trying to get those legs.
But again, Smith just stronger than Thurs.
And Smith knows that once she has Thurs down on the ground, she has the round, so.
Yeah, and Smith very patiently working those double legs as well, not exploding into them, just kind of biding her time, letting Thurs try to fight out of it, and then try to perfectly time these takedowns.
There's a great hook of the leg by Thurs to try to avoid it,
yeah,
keeping a strong base.
Yeah, Thurs has got a lot of athletic attributes that you want in a fighter, very flexible, great balance, but it's just Smith's just drive and her relentlessness just gets her these takedowns.
Smith is throwing some reaps and hooks right there.
The great right by Thurs. Oh, another right. Didn't quite land. She lands that one.
And you can tell fatigue setting in a little bit as left lands to the bridge of the nose of Heather Smith, but not as much behind these punches as we saw earlier in the fight here in round 3 with 47 seconds to end counting left in this fight.
Some hooks there by Thurs are landing on Smith, and it does look like Smith might be a little fatigued right now as she tries for this takedown.
And Thurs keeps grabbing the fence with her fingers, which is not allowed. I think the referee, Brian Tyler, well aware of that. Smith drops to her knee. Thurs trying to gather herself. 20 seconds left in this fight. Some straight left jabs to the face of Thurs, followed by some right overhands.
Thurs landing some nice rights.
Now some body punches from Smith to Thurs with less than 5 seconds left, and that one's it. 3 rounds for these ladies. They go the distance here in the under 115-pound division.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how the scoring is going to go for this one. Looked like Smith was definitely the aggressor. Thurs did land some nice shots and did avoid some takedowns. Smith had some takedowns.
I have to agree with you, Steven. I think Smith, both of them were great. However, the red corner kept aggressive, like being more aggressive than the blue corner on these fights. So I think the red corner is going to take it.
Yeah, from the jump in round 1, Smith got, I think in each and every round, Smith backed Thurs up into the cage and eventually worked her offense from that aggressive point with Thurs' back up against the cage. In rounds 1 and 2, we're able to get a couple takedowns. Not able to in round 3, but still very aggressive. Thurs didn't really strike very much in round 3 as the round progressed.
Yeah. In MMA, unlike boxing, it's hard to win on defense alone. And it looked like Thurs was definitely pretty good with her defense, but I don't think it's going to be enough to give her the edge in this match.
Yeah, I think Thurs, I think she showed a lot of her attributes as to why she could be successful at this, and that her flexibility and her balance was on really at a high level. We'll throw it to Jim Cooley for the official announcement of who wins this fight.
All 3 judges see this bout the same way. For your winner, by unanimous decision, in the red corner, Heather Smith.
So Heather Smith gets the unanimous decision victory as she defeats Valerie Thurs. Thurs falls to 1-1 in her career. All right, now we are set for our co-main events. First, with the Bay Area Combat 170-pound title fight between Andrew Guisa and Diego Lopez.